Hey, welcome to the ASC Colony live stream. My name's Adam Jewell. If you don't recognize me, anyways, and as always, Brendan Traxler, the man, the myth, the legend, is here as well. Brendan, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. It's been a minute since I've been on.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I
were here
mean,
last time.
I don't think I've been on this year yet. I want to say it was before Christmas was the last time.
Yeah.
And then you were on a couple weeks ago and did that. Brendan's got this like down for how 2023 is going to go, and I mean we're going to talk a lot about that. But he's got like the themes and the ideas and the for like the live streams and social media and all that stuff. Like everything. I mean, it's organized. This is like the equivalent to those cool like TikTok videos of you watch people clean stuff up and you're just like, oh man, that's super organized. And I really like.
Oh yeah, that's like super. Oh yeah, so satisfying.
Yeah, it's satisfying. But
my dad had a saying growing up: "Is good, better, best. Never let it rest till the good is better and the better is best." And that's what we're trying to do here.
I would have never memorized that.
And it's like it just rolled.
Well,
anyway,
your dad's a good man.
Yes, he is.
We should have him on sometime.
We should. That would be okay.
Call him up out of nowhere and just be like, "Hey, you're on the live stream now."
Yeah,
what?
That'd be great.
He'll do that typical old person way of like being on where he's just like leading back like this.
No, on the bookstore. I had him on live stream one time. He knows how to do it.
All right, good. So
anyway,
we I knew that was going to happen as soon as he walked away from me. The theme for, I guess the central idea of today is, I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take care of it. Yeah, so the purpose, we're going to start off with the purpose for every one of these, just get people all in flow with what's going on. Last time we talked about, what 2023 was going to look like for ASC Colony. And as Adam was saying, laying out here a roadmap for the live streams. As you can see, I pushed out for the first half of this year, the live streams, they've all been scheduled out. If you're in Discord, there are events made for them. There's a couple that haven't been made, like the ones that Babe are going to be involved with. So we haven't made those yet, so I can't push out. I can't until it's we've made them. But we had our time in the sun, in the light, so it sure got time. I know there's a lot of people out there that are either watching this now, later, or listening on the podcast version that are involved in different things, whether it's seasteading, different projects there, submarines. We've had submersible people, anything ocean tech or ocean habitat related, whether it's above or below. And so we wanted to give a little bit of an opportunity for people to just kind of get their spiel out there. But hey, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're excited about. Or if there's just something you're excited about in the ocean, maybe you're going to go visit Jules this year. That's one of something along those lines. If you got something you want to throw out there, we can talk about that. Otherwise, we have other things to talk about. But the main focus was we wanted you guys to have an opportunity to talk.
So speak up now. No, I'm kidding.
Or forever hold your peace.
I mean, while we're kind of waiting for, the people to jump in and tune in and pipe in, like, what's your kind of, I mean, you covered a lot, but I mean, in a nutshell, what's kind of your goal and stuff for this year and stuff with, especially in like what you are doing with, like in your, I guess, responsibilities and your endeavors with ASC, like what is it your goals are for the year of 2023?
I think one of the things we've talked about a little bit is the accountability aspect of the thing. It's finding a way to become accountable so that I am being pushed further each time. As far as goals wise, I'll jump into it right now. So I swung by the local dive shop this last week, and it's one of the things I've been meaning to do because I'm not a person that gets in front of people and networks very well face to face. I don't do public speaking. I will do it if I have to, and obviously it's going to have to be something I have to do. So that's why the live stream has been great for me to get used to talking on more things. Anyway, I swung by there and said, hey, here's what's going on. Here's who I am. Here's what I'm trying to do. I need networking. You guys have been around for decades. I know you guys got connections. Get me in front of people to talk about ASC. And so one of the guys, one of the divers was working. He's like, what are you trying to do? So he's like asking tons of questions. So I was there for a good 15 minutes just talking about ASC and what we're trying to do. And people were staying around listening. So there might be an opportunity there. They said that they have a diving group that meets every once in a while. So I may come speak to them. So it's different stuff along those lines. It's me trying to get out there more and get out that bubble that I have to engage people more. You and me were talking before live about our roles in the company. And in the past, sometimes those have kind of intermingled a little bit more than maybe they needed to. And so that's one of the things is me getting out there and talking. Obviously, there's a lot on the backside as far as engineering and finding land and all that kind of stuff. That still falls into all that. But the bigger thing for me is to get out there and really start talking.
Yeah, and like I said, you've already done a lot of that. And, I've been trying to shoot emails off and network with people on like LinkedIn especially. That's been both like a positive and like kind of I don't want to say negative. Negative's not the right word. Positive and humbling, I guess, because you get you can start the conversation with people, and then whether or not they want to continue that conversation, that's the part that sometimes is the letdown, because
right.
You can shoot that initial message, be like, hey, this is what we're about, whatever, I'd like to talk to you more. And they're like, yeah, that sounds great. And then you send that other message, and then there's never anything back sometimes. So it's just like, oh, okay, I guess either they quit caring or just not interested right now.
Sure. So I don't know if that was part of your goal. Since you asked me what mine is, what's yours?
Well, I'd like to lose some weight. No, I'm kidding. Well, I mean, yeah, that is, but that's not my business goal. That basically just continue to do the networking and reaching out to people. We've tried a few different things. And I do apologize. I had the dog over here for a second. Now he's wandered off and he does things. He's old. This isn't going to last much longer. Anyways, no, but we've, and I say we because I get a lot of feedback from you and Babe as well. Bouncing ideas off you guys and you guys giving me ideas. But just trying different things, talking to different types of groups and people. I mean, anything to try to open up a door for some sort of opportunity or, conversation. I mean, the biggest thing is I feel like if we can get enough people just to have that conversation with us, we can, things will start working better. But like we've said a million times before, it's a very hard sell for someone that, especially like, say you are just a regular investor and you like to invest in companies and blah, blah, blah. This is a hard sell because it's just like, oh, this hasn't really been done before. I mean, we know that it has been, but it hasn't, like, we're not a company that's like, oh, we designed like a more comfortable pair of pants. And people are like, oh, cool. Everybody wears pants. So it's just like, that's like an easy pitch to make to someone. But something revolutionary. I mean, this is similar to that aspect of probably what some of these other companies that have tried, getting into the private space, business and sector is like for a lot of them, it was probably like, oh, well, that's impossible. Regular people can't do that. Or, that's something that like government entities do. Like, that's not something that just, average Joes come up with. So we know we can do it. We have an engineer working with us on this. We know it's possible. We have everything to prove that it can be done, other than we just need, the more, the financial backing and the powerful, the big, I don't want to say corporate, but like the big business mindset too, to help us get the footing and everything going too. It's like there's no reason that it can't be done. We know that. We know this is very doable. It has been done.
Yeah.
Just now we want to make it something that anybody can really start getting into, rather than just one off, or like something like I said, only military or government deals with stuff like that. So long answer short, yeah, it's a tough sell, but we're trying so many different things, and that's cool. That can be the fun part of it too, is just having to be creative and find different ways around it.
Yeah, I think it's a mindset type of thing. But at the same time, I am shocked. I've been humbled and shocked at how hard it has been to raise any sort of support. When I talked to Dennis Chamberlain 5 years ago or something along those lines, he warned me. He goes, "Yeah, this is going to be hard." And I was like, I can get the money. That's not a problem. It's not that much money. But here we are, however many years later, whether it's 4 or 5, I don't remember now. And it's hard. And once again, that I feel that falls a lot on us as far as conveying that message to people properly, which we have obviously not done a great job with a lot of times, because people still 100% know exactly what we're doing. So,
and the thing that is going to be the most rewarding out of the whole thing is, like I said, it's extremely tough. It's going to be extremely tough. But however we get it done makes it that much more like rewarding too, because it's like, whether it's us getting a hold of somebody that's willing to take that chance with us, or if it's one of these things where we gain enough support to have that crowdfunding or whatever it is, that it's just like, hey, a couple of average Joes got this thing done. Like, we didn't we didn't have to have some, like, as much as I'd love to have that suave business suit and tie person that's just silver tongued and knows how to talk to all the big headwigs and stuff like that, and big headwigs like Harry Potter, big wigs, sorry. The big wigs, that it's just like, yeah, that'd be awesome to have that guy that already like kind of has his foot in the door in a lot of places. But I mean,
that may happen, and that still may happen. We may that guy may come around.
Yeah, there's nothing you and I would love more than to like have somebody that sees that same vision as us and has the same passion, that's willing to just be like, hey guys, like, I want to come on board and help you guys out with this. And then me and you would be just like, absolutely. like I'll, we'll move out of the way if you know what you're doing. That's basically what it comes down to. But I mean, you and I have been teaching ourselves how to do whatever. You so obviously a lot more. You take care of the website, the social media, the live streams, blah blah. You've self-taught a lot of your things, and whereas like I'm a little bit more, I don't want to say charismatic, but I'm a bit more social than you are. So therefore, it's just like, reaching out and stuff isn't that big of a deal to me. But I'm also not. I don't necessarily have a sales background or anything, so it's tough for me to like find the right wording, So, but like I said, I think once we accomplish it, which we will, it's going to be that much more rewarding, because it's like, yeah, we were able to do it with just being who we were, and however you want to look at it.
Yeah. Let's see what Babe's got here. Holy cow, Babe wrote a book. Babe says, I want to have a discussion with like-minded people about the fact that almost every documentary about underwater living always leaves humans living under pressure instead of living in one atmosphere safely now. My comparison is that of modern submarines with the ability to get depth to stay at surface pressure. I think we need to make our own documentary and explain this. I'm typing so fast bad at spelling.
Unacceptable, babe. Get your wording right.
And one of the filler I had to talk about was Dennis Chamberlain is making a documentary. This may be what spurred this on, but Dennis Chamberlain, friend of the show, we've had him on here before. Love to have him back again, actually. He's actually working right now on a documentary where he's having people send in short videos answering the question of why. I think it's, why do you want to live underwater? So I don't know if that's spur on, but I agree. There's nothing that says we can't do that. And yes, there's engineering feats that do that, but we can do it.
Yeah, and the thing is like, what separates us from a lot of other things is the engineering and math is there. Like, this isn't something that we're still trying to discover. Like, not like you and I, we don't know necessarily like the absolute like physics and mathematics of it, but that knowledge is out there. Like the knowledge of what water pressure is, the knowledge of like how to engineer something to withhold certain weights and pressures, and the dimensions of that atmospheric pressure. Like all that is known because that's all stuff that has been done with all sorts of different types of things, and I say that as opposed to, it's different than like, say, something like rocket science, where there's so many like different, still so many unknowns in a lot of that, to where it's a lot more, I guess there's still a lot more to learn. Whereas like this kind of stuff, it's basically figured out when you put the right minds into it. And just like a lot of engineering really is like, okay, you build it like this to withstand this, and boom, there you go.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. And no, my notes here. Yeah, I think that once again, it's kind of what I've been part of too. With Martin over there in Turkey, there's things that he's to put tons of time into getting. And once again, it's a weakness of mine is that, like you were just talking about, reaching out to these people and stuff like that. That it's a fear of mine that I need to overcome. But he didn't have that, so he got. All these great Sylvia Earle, Jan Koblik, all these different people into a Zoom meeting. It was amazing, but it's that networking. And then Babe doing a documentary there. Yeah, 100%. It's these different types of networking and getting the name out there, making ourselves the expert in the business world. That's what you're always trying to do. And so the more things we can do to get out there and cement ourselves as the one, the better.
Yeah. And it's been, I've said this a million times before, but is what's been cool about the whole thing is we've both met tons of cool people that are both like super knowledgeable and super supportive of this type of thing. And we've met a lot of different people that are trying to accomplish the same thing. And for the most part, a lot of them are super helpful and super friendly with the thing. Like, there's different people that are companies that want to do the same type of thing in their own way, which is awesome, whatever. And like a lot of them have reached out to us, we've reached out to them, and it's always been like a friendly thing and sharing knowledge and whatever it is. Yeah, there's a couple out there that are just like kind of isolated to themselves and, and whatever, each their own. But that's been the cool thing with it, is because you don't see that in like a lot of other types of businesses where everything's like super competitive. And it's like, I don't want to even like associate with this brand because I don't want them to get an edge over me. And it's like, obviously we want to get this done and we will get it done. But we're also like fans of the thing too, just so where like if we see someone else accomplish it, we're going to be like, hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Now we want to do it. Like we want to obviously be like the first ones, or like, we want to be super successful in what we're doing. But like we cheer on like the other people that are doing it too. And it's, why not?
That's why I love looking at stuff that Jules, like Fane's putting out there, all this stuff. Like they're coming up here in March, I think there's 100 days underwater at Jules, where Joe Dituri is, aka Dr. Deep Sea, is going to be doing a 100-day stint underwater at Jules, setting the world record and some of those lines. Sign me up. I'd stick around for a week or two or a month or whatever. Whatever, however you want to put up with me. Type of thing. And we're all about that. We're going to, if they're live streaming this stuff, we will definitely be hopping on there and talking. So it's very cool.
We'll be linking to their stuff and like, shit, it's not like we're,
it's not a competition.
No.
It's a huge, there's multiple oceans, there's tons of water, and there's plenty of room for all of us.
Yeah. Same with like, especially like seasteaders and stuff and ocean builders, like great relationship with those guys. And Carly Jackson's a good person to bring up, is that she always checks in like with our project, and she always wants to tell people about our stuff. And like I said, you don't see that in a lot of other industries where it's just like, for example, I'll bring up video games and stuff. It's like you don't see like Nintendo being like, hey man, have you guys checked out the Xbox? That thing's pretty cool. It's like you don't see stuff like that, So it's like it's that's been like one of the cool parts about the whole thing. And super helpful too, because all it does is, I mean, sharing knowledge and, sharing connections and stuff like that has only made things a little bit easier. And you realize that you're coming across a lot of the same challenges too. But
yeah,
like I said, we cheer each other on, really. And I mean, if somebody else succeeds, I mean, technically that helps us too, because if someone else were to do it before us, that's only ammo in our bag to be like, hey, this other company's already doing it. Like, now we want you to help us. Like, yeah, like they've already done the footwork. Now we'll do it for you, type deal.
And talking about, saying Ocean Builders just showed off, I think it was yesterday or today, that they were putting the windows in their underwater room for their sea pod. So they will soon have one. And the windows looked about the same size as Jules. I was actually thinking they're going to be bigger than that, but they weren't. They're about the same size as Jules windows. So no big changes there. But once again, you're going to have this awesome view out in the ocean from your sea pod. So you can go and chill on the breeze up on the deck, or go and sit in the room underwater. Very cool. I definitely want to go check that out. I want to go stay in one. So yeah. And also with the Sea Setters, if you're part of their Discord, just throwing this out there, they are having an event tomorrow with Arctide. I think it's Arctide. Talking about what they're working on in the sea platforms and stuff on those lines. So just a little plug for them as well there. Hop on their Discord, join their events. It's a Discord only event, I believe. So that'd be cool. I'm gonna try.
If you're a part of our Discord, you can get over to theirs too. I think we have a link. If not, we'll get one in there.
Yeah, I don't think we do, but if we do, we can get one.
Yeah, well,
we should if we don't.
Yeah.
And side note here, Bailey Lynn from LinkedIn commented. He's a guy we've got that's making some 3D models for us. He's working on CAD so we can print these our designs in 3D. And he's working on making the CAD files for us. So he shot us a message. I just want to give a shout out to him that he was hopped in here to ask us a question real fast. I took care of it offline there.
Yeah, and that was another cool one too. That he's a college student, and reaching out to, he was, like I said, he was another one that's like, hey, how can I help? And interested in your guys' project and all that, and that kind of thing's cool, because not only for the fact that this guy probably is way smarter than Brennan and I already, and it's like, so, and like I said, just to have that person that kind of sees a cool project. And
he actually hit us up for an internship at first. I said, yeah, well, we're kind of not there. We don't have no money.
Yeah, as much as we would love to be able to do something like that.
But then at the same time, Babe, and we were talking with Babe, and that his son has a friend who can 3D print. So, but he needed the models, so it just fall apart. So this guy's going to make the CAD files for us. Yep. That we'll get over to Babe's son's friend, and then we'll figure out from there. It'll be exciting. So hopefully by this summer, we got some freaking 3D models of our habitat.
Well, yeah, and like what we were discussing too, speaking of one of the things of 2023 is by having the 3D models, is that's something cool that we would be able to, if we were able to go to, let's say, for example, like DEMA, or just if we start establishing better connections with people, we can like send them 3D models, like little things, and be like, listen, here's a physical representation of like what we are trying to do. This is something that you can get your hands on and actually see it. So that's super cool. These guys are helping out with that. And I still think it'd be cool if we had like if I had a bigger fish tank and we could get one of those things and put it in there, and then we could have like, all right, this is what it actually looks like. Except for betas aren't that big.
But here's what's going to happen is at DEMA, you're going to have one of those T-carts pushing around with their model sitting on there.
Yeah, we're not paying for a booth, but we'll have our little push cart that, just like those people at casinos that just push around carts of coffee and soda.
Yeah, exactly.
Hot coffee. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
But yeah, anybody else? I know we got other people watching. If you got any other things you'd like to throw in there as far as what you're focused on for 2023, we'd love to hear it. Like I say, do it later too. We'll be throwing this out there on social medias, TikTok, all that kind of stuff tomorrow.
Come join us in the Discord and tell us.
Yeah, there too.
Some other stuff been popping lately, dude.
It has been. Yeah, there's been a lot of conversations going in there. Although it's mainly between 2 or 3 different people, but still, it's some good stuff going in there. Yeah, no, there's some good conversations in there too.
Yeah.
So.
It's I have my like notification volume off on my phone, but like on my computer, so like when I come down here to work or whatever, I just constantly hear Discord. It's like doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. I'm like, what the heck is going? Because I'm not a part of very many Discord servers, like a few different ones, but it's all ASC stuff. And like you said, it's like, conversations going on. And so I mean, the notification sound I need to turn off, but it is nice to know that like people are like utilizing and having those conversations. And I said we even have like a spot in there to discuss, even if you find like cool movies or video games that are related to the underwater thing, like just be able to talk about that. Like I came across some game on Steam the other day that is all about building underwater cities and stuff, and I shared that, and I'm like, that's kind of cool to be able to, here we are doing this, and we can just get a game and figure it all out from there. But yeah, more fun stuff.
I had something I was going to say during that you're talking there. I completely forgot what it was now. So
sorry, I have that power of just rambling. I'm trying to get it all. I missed a couple weeks. I have to get it all out now.
True. A couple other things we're working on is the guy who did the artwork and stuff for our phase 2, our deep water. I've been messaging him. We're going to get him to do some more artwork, but for the prototype, so all of our artwork looks the same since he did an awesome job on that. Plus, I've asked him for some more videos and stuff along those lines too. So I want you to hear back what that's going to cost, depending on how I want to do that and if we want to do it soon or not. So we should have some more artwork coming down the line as well. I'd love to have it before the 31st, because on the 31st is our next live stream, and on that one we're going to be taking a deep dive into the prototype phase 1 shallow water design, as we're calling it, and really going into how that's going to work, why we're going that route, because we get a lot of questions on why are you using a shipping container, why don't you use this, why don't you do that. Here's why. And we may be completely wrong, but I don't think we are. So, and that's why we're going that way, because I don't think we are.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that and some different design elements. That was just actually when I was at the dive store the other day, they were asking, man, how you going to get that thing underwater? That's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm like, exactly. And that's why we've got some ideas on how to combat against that. So yeah, we'll talk a lot about that more in depth here in a couple of weeks. I think that'll be a good one. We'll have definitely some images and stuff. Will be a much more graphical live stream than we usually do.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, and that's and to go back on what you're saying about we're getting some more graphics and stuff done, is that we have like a lot of visuals for phase 2, which is like the cylindrical designs and the modular designs, which obviously is the ultimate long-term goal. But phase 1, we have images and stuff up, just not as many. So it's just like, I'm sure you're thinking with that is that we need to have some more of that, because that's initially what we're going to be pitching to.
It's what we're trying to sell right now anyway. Yeah.
It's going to be the quicker, easier build, and then, but we need to have, a little bit more visuals of it. And so yeah, that'll be cool to have a little bit more of that to put on the website and to share with people. And
the Discord guys are commenting about your comments about the Discord, by the way. They're saying how they hijacked our server and stuff along those lines.
Oh, see, I right now I have it muted, so I'm not even seeing
mine too. My son popping up on my phone. So they must be
you guys
watching
calm it down in there. Whatever you guys are doing. Oh yeah, Tom, gotcha.
Yeah. And Zutai too, he commented.
Yeah, we got some cool, fun guys in there that are, they carry on the conversation for us. I'm like I said, I mute the notifications on my phone, so it's not going off through the day. I don't participate as much as I'd like to.
Same.
So
I see that stuff. I'm like,
I like that
comment on that.
I like that with these guys are helping start the conversations in so many different of our channels and stuff. That's been the cool part.
Yeah, because I'll say I'm gonna come on this when I get home. I don't forget about it. So,
and at that point, it's just like in a real life conversation where it's just like somebody makes a comment and then like you call them up 4 hours later and be like, "Hey, I was thinking about what you were saying earlier."
Yeah.
Okay, weirdo. Yeah, but yeah, it's we're obviously in the middle of January right now. Tom just says we're welcome to use our server anytime that we want. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. No, Tom, you are welcome to share the server anytime you want. But yeah, it's, we're at the beginning of the year, a lot of goals set in place.
Yep.
The big, the main goal has been the goal for a while now, and it's just to get the funding to do it. And it's just like, we hate having to sound like a broken record with it, but at the same time, it's like, that's the last thing in holding us back. And the only thing we can really do is keep doing what we're doing, trying to network, trying to find, creative ideas on how we can do that. And like I said, Brendan's doing in-person stuff like where he can. I mean, I would, I guess, but in South Dakota in the middle of wintertime, there's not really anybody up here I can talk to in person. We don't necessarily have dive shops up here. However, though, trying to just make those connections, like I said, whether it's via LinkedIn, social media, just emailing businesses directly. Maybe the next step's gotta be, just stalk someone to get their business phone number and call them up and be like, listen, you're not emailing me back. Now you're going to listen to me. No, that's not how I'd open it up, by the way. But
I hope not.
No, but I mean, at the same time, though, that, if we got to find times to try to, I don't like to use the term cold calling because that makes it sound like spammers and stuff. But I mean, like to call the right person and, try to have that conversation that way. Because it's so easy to think some of the email you're getting is just spam and stuff. And I try to, like, when this is what something me and you have long conversations about, is that when I try to message people or email them, like, I do not want my emails to sound like an immediate sales pitch or a spam thing to where they're going to be like, oh, this is just like a spam email, delete. Like I try to make it a little bit more personable and try to keep it short and ask a couple questions that are, directly to the person so they, don't think it's some automated message that goes out.
And at the same time, we're still getting emails and stuff in from people too, even without us hitting up people. Last week I got an email from an organization down in Miami. I didn't tell you, I heard back right before we hopped online. He shot me an email back today too, responding. So we got a conversation with an organization in Miami that's interested in what we're doing. So who knows what will happen with that? But once again, it's what I've been preaching. We've been saying it's on who you know, and it's just going to be that one person that comes in at the right place, or one or two people, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, obviously, the biggest thing, like I said, is money. But the second biggest thing, really, I mean, in my opinion, is someone that's just like, I can like introduce you to a guy. It's just like, that's because even if that guy doesn't know somebody, maybe that guy knows another guy. It's just like,
yeah.
I don't
Absolutely.
know. I don't care if we have to chase down a chain of 100 people. If that 100th person is the person that's just like, oh yeah, I'll help you out.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Let's start the chain now. But it's like,
unfortunately, with all the jobs I'm involved with, I can travel at any point in time, anywhere type of thing too. So, hey, you need me to tomorrow, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Anyway, unless you got something else you wanted to go, I think that, it seems like the conversation is where it's at, and we can start the wrap up process around these here parts.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Outside of business, what does Brendan want to do in 2023?
Get ripped, get swole.
You were just talking before that, so that you go into the gym and you hurt your arms or something like that.
No, I was working out here with some weights I have here. I go to the gym, but I was trying different exercise that I hadn't tried in a while with just like free weights. It's like, my triceps are killing me. But no, it's one thing is I need to get out more. I'm always so tight with my money on my personal level, but I think I'm going to do a little more traveling this year. All of it business plus pleasure, so it's a little bit of both. But so my destinations are based on business, but I'll be able to get pleasure out of it as well.
And so you're lucky in that aspect that it's just like a lot of the places that you would visit for fun could also be helpful with ASC anyway. So it's just like, even if nothing comes out of it business wise, it's like, hey, at least I got to go do something cool,
I'd like to contemplate maybe going back down to Jules again this year. We'll see.
You should see if you can get down there when that guy's doing the 100 day stay and just
Well, I mean,
just crash it and be like, you know what, I booked this. I'm coming in.
I'm going to leave you a bad Yelp review.
Yeah.
So yeah, stuff along those lines. Texas, to go out there and see Glenn, chill with him, maybe.
Well, hey, I know if they ever do that, Starship. Thank you. If they ever do that this year,
yeah,
that'd be kind of cool. But
so yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Dima's coming up. We'll do that.
Dima's in November.
Hey, Glenn. Speaking of Glenn, he just hopped in here.
Glenn.
Anyway, Glenn's saying, keep your schedule out front where people can see where you're going.
First of all, quit yelling at us.
All the caps there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, at the beginning of the show, that's kind of what I was saying too, is that what you've done, Brendan, is I mean, as far as I guess your personal travel schedule is not published, but what dang it, Glenn, you gotta be here prompt. No, I'm kidding, man. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. But Brendan's done tons of work of getting like a lot of stuff scheduled and prepped for the year, as far as like social media and a lot of the live streams, and just like you said, he's doing a lot more for like accountability and stuff to, you know, hold us to certain goals and whatever.
And to let people, like he's saying, to let people know kind of what's coming up here. So it's not a week in, week out type of thing. I know he's talking about more than just our live streams,
right.
But we're talking about live streaming specifically. People now know, hey, in the next couple of months, here's what we're going to talk about. Here's what it's going to be. So they can either get anticipated for it or know, hey, I can take vacation that week and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, maybe you brought it up on the last live stream. I can't remember. But because I wasn't there, you got to have a conversation with Glenn not too long ago.
I did. I mean, we had a nice little phone call.
Yeah.
Yes. Glenn's a great guy.
But yeah, outside of that, I mean,
Glenn, do you have any ocean related 2023 goals since you're hopping in here? We had it from Babe. We talked about a bunch of different things, but if you got anything you're focused on this year or not, we're just enjoying your new line of work you're involved with or what. But so we'll give Glenn a couple minutes here to respond. If so, yeah, I guess you can go ahead and start the outro in the process.
Outro. Yeah, it feels like it's been a while since I've done this. Oh, we didn't use some of the banners that you set up, like those.
That's from last time.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so Discord. Actually, I need to. Sorry, I'm gonna adjust these while I'm right here, so I can start. No. Sorry.
I was deleting while you're trying to do.
Oh, I'm like, I'm not that bad at this, am I? Okay. So first and foremost, AtlantaSeaColony.com. That's the website. That's where you're going to be able to find all of our information. That's where you can find all of our social medias. We have a great resource page, and by we, I mean Brendan set up a great resource page of books and podcasts and that you can check out to find all sorts of, like we talked today about, like a lot of the oceanic stuff that's going on. So a lot of good resources there. And if you have any suggestions, get a hold of Brendan or I. Like if you come across a really good book that you think should be on there, let us know. Same with podcasts or anything else. Let us know, and we'll set that up on there for you guys. Also, we have the Discord that we were talking about. The link to the Discord can be found on there as well. Right under this, or same with like all of our social medias. You can get a link to that from there. Like I said, we have like conversations going on nonstop, which is awesome. We have a good community going, and it keeps slowly building. And like we said, community has been the best thing, or one of the most helpful things about ASC so far. So yeah, that's a good way to get involved, join, and discuss it with all of us. AtlantaSeaCalling.com/merch. Once again, you can use the AtlantaSeaCalling.com to get to the merch store. A lot of cool designs for different shirts, mugs, cups, sweatpants. Are they
sweatpants in there or not?
Are they sweatpants or are they? Or is that on the other one?
On the other one.
Okay, which you're still working on.
so I can't get the shipping right. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We have other stuff in the works that Brendan's troubleshooting, but in the meanwhile, the other store that's up, still wide variety there. A lot of cool stuff there. Hats, beanies. Still wintertime. You can still get a beanie. Also, so if you're wondering how you can help, there's 2 different ways you can do so. First is just you want to do PayPal. If you want to do a simple donation, what's that face for, Brendan?
I was just thinking about something I messed up I should have done, but go ahead.
That was a weird face. Okay, PayPal.me/Atlanta Sea Colony. You can do a one-time donation through that, whether it's $3 or $3,000. You can do it through there. Like I said, it's people are getting through the holidays. The holidays are over. Just making sure your credit card debt's not up too high. But other than that, like if you're feeling generous, hit us up. We'd love to take your money. No, but if you're feeling generous and you have the ability to help, hit up the PayPal for a one-time donation. Or we have the subscription-based one or the monthly payment ones, which is through Patreon, patreon.com/Atlanta Sea Colony. Whoops, forgot to hit this up. So far we have Edward Haas, Brian Acosta, Matthew Caffey, Martin Reese. We have S. Babe Hyde, and you still have my name on here, but
I know that's what I was just thinking. That's why I messed up. I need to take that off the 2 different places.
Right. Thing is, I just don't care anymore. No, I'm kidding. Using that funding for other resources, but yes. But yes, 5, 10, and 20. No,
25. I find 5, 15, and 25.
5, 15, and 25 are the different tiers for Patreon. So if you're wanting to help that way, just do a simple whatever. Maybe your New Year's resolution, like me, is that you're like, I need to quit drinking pop, or maybe I need to quit drinking coffee. You're going to be saving yourself about $5 a day, maybe. And you know what? $5 a day that you're saving. How about $5 a month to Atlanta Sea Colony? Now you're supporting a good cause, and you're kicking your habit too. There, I just helped all of you guys out. No, so any way you guys are willing to help, and like we said earlier, the biggest thing is even if you can't support us financially, spread the word about Atlanta Sea Colony. Spread our social media, join the Discord, get involved. If you guys know people that can that are interested in this or want to help with something like this, get them in contact with us, get us in contact with them, whatever works. Reach out. We are very accessible to talk to. Like we're busy people because we're normal people, but we are more than able to help. If usually within a day we will respond to you. So if you message the Facebook page, one of more than likely Brendan, but one of us will respond to you. Same with any of the social medias, you will get a response from us. Yeah. Or if have us on LinkedIn, or you can go to the website and get our direct business emails, whatever. Just we are always willing to talk if you have ideas or suggestions. One of the main reasons we've come this far is because of all the help we've gotten so far. So,
yep.
Other than that, Brendan, I feel like I've talked too long, so
we'll get Glenn's comments in here real fast.
First off, sorry about that.
No, you're good. Go ahead and say he agrees with the one atmosphere of living, which we talked about earlier on with Babe. So yes, I think that's a consensus. I think most of the people in our group, at least, there's still some out there that are very pro on the saturation, which I'm not. I think it defeats our core value of who we are and what we're trying to achieve. So I'm not really keen on that.
For me, not as knowledgeable as the rest of you guys are when it comes to like the atmospheric stuff. Just like the base knowledge that I know of it is just like the one atmosphere is like for leisure, for like, for fun, that's easily accessible, low risk and all that. Plus like more, when you're at that atmosphere level, you're at a good spot to where, depending on where you're at, you have a good view of like the marine life around you. But the deeper you go, the less sunlight you get, the more you have to worry about your mechanics of your atmospheric mechanics that obviously we'll figure out anyways. But that all of a sudden, it's like, to me, that's like when you're going to get more into the research aspect of things, or maybe like the commercial side of things, where like you need to be at that depth for something. But like,
even then, you can still do one atmosphere.
Sure. Like I said, unless you needed to, you know what I mean? Like if you needed to be deeper for some sort of research or whatever.
And even then, in my idea, you'd have a lock off area for that where you could saturate yourself to do that, but the main area would still be one atmosphere. But that's down the road. And like Glenn said, which Seasteading has called my thing the Grand Mal method or whatever it is, but so Grand Mal can visit and feel comfortable, 100%. But back to Glenn about his goals for 2023, he said he's planning on getting back underwater, which great, and have a new opportunity starting a business at 71. You are never too young. My dad, he's the same age as you, which is kind of weird, but I'm just kidding.
It's a weird way to bring that up.
Well, I'm saying he started
with my dad.
No, but I'm saying he started a business 3 years ago.
Right.
So,
No, yeah.
I'm saying, and took a big risk on that, and it's going well. So yeah,
my dad's not much younger than your guys', and he started a business about 5 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's like, he retired and then started a business.
Yeah, it's never too. You're never too old.
No. Now, a lot of times, I bet sometimes these guys that start it when they're that old are like, oh, like I wish I would have started this when I was a little younger. But
also a lot of them know what to do this time versus because for my dad, for example, he's always from as young as I remember been trying to start businesses, and they haven't worked out. They've lasted, I don't know how many different businesses he's tried to start when I was younger. Now he finally got 2 now that he started, the online one, now this bookstore. So
yeah, trial and error.
True that. Anyway, I think that is about it for this evening. Unless Glenn's got some more. I mean, he did mention here about work as a different scenario. And yeah, depending on what kind of work you're doing, I agree. This experience is the best asset. I agree.
That's the thing. We want to surround ourselves with people that have different experiences and knowledge and all that. That's what's making this thing come to fruition. That and
it's also knowing, like for our artisans, what questions to ask to get the right information as well. So
right. Yep, absolutely.
All right.
I'm glad that we have a community where it's just like if somebody were to ask us like a question and we didn't know it, we know somebody that can get us that answer pretty darn quick.
Yep.
So, all right. Having said that, we've had a good night, guys. And
we have. Thank you for everybody who joined in here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Babe. Thank you, Bailey. And anybody else, I know there's other people out there watching that don't chime in here, just watching. I appreciate it.
Thank you to the people in the future that are listening to this.
Yes.
As a download. But we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yep.
All right, guys. So same bat time, same bat channel or whatever. But until then, have a good couple weeks, and we will see you soon.